it's Paula from Paula Quilting, and welcome to my sewing space. This is going to be a short mini series about my sewing space. I will show you how it's set up, what I like, what I don't like, and how I go about it. Those are going to be bite-sized videos about particular part of this place. So if you have any questions about what you saw in that chapter, please put them in the comments below so I can pick them up in the next chapter. Let's get started. Okay, so this is all my storage for the fabrics. Those are the Kallax from IKEA shelves, and I bought some second-hand, and then I bought the big one new because I couldn't find it on the market, and I just wanted to sort out this place. But you know, if you are not in the rush and you want to do something similar, just wait. They're coming out on the FaceBay, and you can buy them quite cheaply, you know, for half of the price or 30%, so you can, you know, make the best of it. Again, those inserts for the shelves, I bought some second-hand, and then they had sell in IKEA as well, so I bought a few more. So I wasn't rushing with it. So if I start from this side, I've got some shelves covered. So this is my stash of Nigerian African wax fabric. Love those, and I do use them very sparsely on my scrap quilts, to be honest. I use them for special projects or for my clothing. I did few clothes out of it as well. Then here I've got some fabrics which I'm using as a backing of the pillows. You know, it's not the cotton you use for the quilts, it's just everything else mixed up here. Something like this I bought for £1 in Primark. Quite useful thing, you know. I like to watch something when I'm sewing, so I'm putting my phone in here. But it's and I've got my scissors clipped to it as well, so that I don't look for them all the time. And I move it either here if I'm sewing on my Juki, or I move it to this side if I'm sewing on my Singer. So it's quite versatile, and also it's quite useful as well when I'm quilting. So I'm clipping it to the tables to hold the quilt so it doesn't fall down. So £1 in Primark, you know, you cannot go bad. You're not sure you can buy them for that price anymore, but quite useful stuff. Here I've got my fabrics, but let me start from this corner again because it's kind of connected. So when I made this cupboard, like, you know, when I was putting it together, I didn't put those dividers in here because I wanted more space in here. But it didn't look like this until recently. So I had just normal boxes, you know, plastic boxes, or, you know, the tubs, or just baskets or whatever stacked here with different things. But what I had a lot of that space, which is, you know, you put the, let's say, basket takes so much space, and then you have all that free space which you cannot use anymore because either nothing fits on top of it or it falls inside, and, you know, it just doesn't work well. So what I did, I went to the Home Base, which is like, you know, home improvement shop here in UK, and I bought that cladding bits, and I cut them to size of that space, and basically on the side of it is also that cladding slot in like that, so it holds it, and I've used double-sided tape to hold it in place so it doesn't wobble. But it doesn't need more than that, because obviously that will whatever I put on top, it holds the weight of it as well. So that was, you know, very good. And also it's, you know, I can take it out if I need to ever change how I lay out my stuff. And then I've invested into all of those trays for the fabric. And here I've got them like named because all that part is my ongoing project. So I've got labeled what I've got inside. So when I'm looking for something, and I sometimes work, you know, on 6-7 different projects at the times, for tutorials, for myself, for everything else. So once I finish, I chuck it into the box, and then I know what's inside, and I can carry on as quickly, you know, as I swap them around. Before I had that system in place, I found myself that, you know, I had 5 or 6 different projects. When I wanted to sew one, I had to dump everything, and usually it was coming down on the floor. Then when I wanted to come back to it, I couldn't find the pieces, or I had to iron them again because they got, you know, mixed up. It's just because I didn't have enough storage. So that now works very well. Everything is sorted. So those are the trays. I use the same one as there, and I'm just putting, like, you know, fat quarter stuff in here. So a little bit about the fabric I'm using. I do not have any fancy fabric. None of the fabrics I'm using are expensive. They are the cheapest one you can have. I use a lot of second-hand shop as a source of my fabric. You know, all the good quality bedding I can find there, which is, you know, not necessarily like, you know, very used, but there might be a stain somewhere in the middle. You know, you cut around the stain and use the rest of the fabric. Cotton shirts, men's shirts, cotton ladies clothes, anything and everything which I like. I also use the blend, so cotton with something. But I work more with touch than what's on the label as what's inside. If it feels nice to the touch, I know that if I make quilt with it, it will be feeling nice to the touch, and that's what I go with. And also needs to be washable at least in 30-40 degrees, so I check the label for that. If that's the case, I will use it as well. So those are all boxes of those fat quarters, and we have something called scrap store here in Southampton, and they do sell those fat quarters. Well, they are not fat quarters, actually they're much bigger pieces of fabric, which is great, and they sell them very cheaply in that shop. And most of those pieces are actually, you know, from the bedding, so they rip the bedding making those packets of 3 or 4 fabrics, and they sell you those. But on occasion you can kind of find some pearls in between as well, you know, some great stuff. So it's, you know, every now and then I pop into the shop and buy those. You know, when I see my trays got some space, I go and buy more. So that's that. Then I've got those drawers here, which again I bought cheaply in, I think it was Homebase here in UK. So I've got 9 of those here. Some of them are labeled with the colors because I'm using them to store the bits and pieces for the crumb blocks. So I've got red, green, blue, I've got white backgrounds and white fabrics, orange, brown, pink and purple. That's the only box which is empty at the moment, kind of, because I've used them up for my recent crumb blocks. Then I've got confetti project. If you saw the most scrappy project ever video, that's, you know, the next video coming about how I'll use those. Those are all of those cutouts from the string blocks. Then I've got some blocks here as well, which will be all those UFO and leftovers tutorials coming out from this box soon. And I've got kids fabrics, so anything I find with like kids designs goes to this drawer. So they are divided and it works well. So in that scrap store I've mentioned also, they've got the bags of mixed fabrics for people to take, and you can find anything and everything inside mixed. So when I come home, I usually got like, you know, I take 5-6 of those bags. I come home and I sort through them, what is, you know, quilt possible, I put it on one side. Anything it's not necessarily great for the quilts, I put it on another side. And when one of my child or both of my kids come around, they say they want to sew with me, I just give them that bag with those scraps, and they can do whatever like with that, and I'm not worried about it. So I've got some more dies here. The smaller dies are in these boxes. Some empty trays for change. I've got packets and closing strips from the shirts here, so there will be another tutorial about those. A big bucket of the random strips, so you know, when I cut my fabric into 2.5 and 1.5 inches, whatever is like, you know, on the sides left goes to this bucket, so that's just literally anything and everything string related. Then I've got trays of 1.5 inches, 2.5 inches, 2.5 and by 4.5. That's another great size of the block to use, and there will be some tutorials about this one. There are some project trays here, so some of you may have seen how to make yourself a nice project tray where you use some foam board and you put some batting on it and it sticks because it's like a design wall. But I didn't go that far. I bought those foam boards, I was planning to do it, and that's how I finished. But I use them as a kind of dividers. So when I'm putting it here, it's all, you know, sliced in between. So when I'm looking for a particular project I've started already, again, it's quickly to find. I've got some layer cakes fabrics here, which I cut from my fabric, and some other bits and pieces. So that's how it's laid out. What I've got here are the rolls of the fabrics. I do use that thicker paper, which is like, what do they call it? for comic book, you know, holders. So I've got those, and I've got basically fabric wrapped around it in the same size. That makes, you know, easy to work with as well, and it doesn't get crinkled around. So I've got 2 covers of those, and then I've got bins, and the bins are full of all of the, you know, all the goodies. So I did went through those bins not so long ago, and I took out a lot of fabrics which I knew I will never use. And you know, you, like with everything, every now and then you have to purge, otherwise you kind of end up with everything and you cannot find anything. Like with clothes, you know, I mean, you can have a full wardrobe with clothes and nothing to wear. So with the bins, so I've got two bins full of bags for the quilts, and those are basically beddings. Bedding, and more bedding. So I do buy used one, I do buy new one from like IKEA when they've got sale. So I've got a lot of those stored here. And you know, if you buy bedding which is a king size and you don't do single or twin quilt, that means you have enough fabric for 2. And then whatever you cut around to the shape, obviously that can be then transformed into strips and used in another project. So for example, that is a second-hand quilt cover I bought. Love the fabric, and it's a big piece because that's the king size quilt, so that will give me a lot of to work with. I haven't got into it yet, but probably will sometime soon. So I've got 2 bins of those, and then if I'm working with something and I cut out some pieces and they are not necessarily processed straight away into the, you know, 2.5, 1.5 or whatever other shape I work with, they come to this bin here. So I just chuck them inside, and when it's full, well, it's almost full but not yet, I will take it all out, I will iron it, and I will decide what I want to do. I also put some, you know, when I go to second-hand shop to buy some fabric, and every now and then I find some shirts, and you know, this is all washed, ready to be cut, but I didn't have time to do it yet, so I just put it in that box as well. Now, when I buy cotton, some of those cottons are quite like a see-through. This one maybe not, but I've got another piece of fabric here. It is nice cotton, it's got nice design, but it's sheer one. If you have a fabric like that, use it to your string blocks with the muslin, because muslin will add that extra dimension to it. So I do not shy from those fabrics as well. If they are nice and got the colors, the design I like, I just put them separately just for the string piecing, because I know I can use it there with no problem at all. And this bin is full of cutouts of the batting. And again, when I've got enough, I will make to piece it, you know, as a Frankenstein style. I've got video about it as well, and use it for maybe pillow backing or something else. So I keep it all here. I've got a plan how to use it for maybe some rope type baskets, and use this inside instead of the rope. We'll see how it goes in the next video. And then I've got some other bits and pieces here, like books, magazines, designs, patterns and things like that. So that was a little bit longer video because it's a lot to talk about the fabric, and I love to talk about the fabric. So please be sure to leave your questions and comments below. So if there's something you saw and you're not sure, I didn't say you know, enough about it, please ask, and I will add it, the answers into the next videos. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.